Hey everybody, we are back for episode 11 of Dusty Fans. We have our first Pascal series card, which is the GTX 1060. This was definitely, you can tell by the benchmarks and the stress tests, like a huge jump from like the 900 series cards. I didn't realize back in the day that there was such a big jump between the 900 and the 1000 series cards, but looking at some of the stats, especially in the stress tests or the leaderboards, their the number of like number ones that this got in like the good categories was kind of shocking. So it's just a 1060 ASUS card. Let's jump over to the media. Um, I didn't have before photos. I messed up and forgot to take them, but super clean, white card. Really like the design on this. Just very good looking, even by today's standards. So let's jump over to the overview. It's the 6 GB version. They do have 3 GB 1060s. I'm trying to stay away from those. We saw a modest increase in frames per second and a modest decrease in temperature. Nothing too crazy. This card was pretty clean, which is probably why I forgot to take before photos. We have the blog here, which just kind of goes over. You can see, I mean, the inside was a little bit dirty, and it's a white card, so it's a lot easier to see the dirt. Fans looked pretty bad, but nothing that like would have impacted performance. And 9 years old, so the thermal paste was definitely a little crusty. But overall, it cleaned up pretty good. You can read through the blog if you want to learn a little bit more. Jumping into the stress tests, everything was good, like temperatures in the 60s, that's great. Hot spots in the 70s, that's also good. And the averages are, these are all averages, so not bad. Um, these max clock speeds, we care more about the average and pretty similar before and after. Wattage is basically exactly the same, even at the average. Everything was very similar with just like a small improvement, if anything, before and after. So looking at the cleaning details, this one was pretty straightforward. Estimated cleaning, I put 5 years, but that more is like external, not like repasting or anything. Modest, moderate dust level. Gaming or maybe mining. I mean, these cards came out right when like the Ethereum mining craze was all the rage. So wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of mining. There's a lot of hair uh, in this one. Grossest factor was just a 2, and we'll definitely be doing a giveaway for this. Now the leaderboards, this is pretty interesting. So it's a 1060, but it's number 3 for highest benchmark score. So at 3644, number 1 for coolest GPU. Finally, somebody has beat that 650 Ti gigabyte card. Frames per second per watt, number 1. Lowest power. Um, I don't actually. Oh, you know what? These are kind of skewed right now because we're under the benchmarks, and I haven't actually gone back. We redid the leaderboards a little bit where it splits up benchmark, stress test, cleaning details, and then GPU information into its own thing. So I haven't really gone back and updated a lot of these. So this is going to be number 1 for a lot on the benchmarks, but for stress test performance, this is what's interesting. So we've got 3 that this is going against, and it's number 1 for coolest hotspot, for highest clock speeds, coolest hotspot on average, 1 of 3. Not every GPU has a hotspot, which is why it's saying only 3 instead of all of the 11. Um, Most erratic clock, it's number 3, but the for the variation is so low, doesn't really matter. We've got higher clock speeds in the Pascal series here for memory. Lowest peak power, only 124 watts. Lowest fan utilization. This card was just like running very cool. Everything is so like best value, which is based on like frames per second per dollar. And I mean, it's not expensive either, so 2.99. I need to move this dollar sign. I'll do that before the next video. Most recent GPU. So again, this is our first Pascal series card, and it's going to be the most efficient, lowest TDP, highest clocks. So overall, pretty cool card. Let's jump into the uh, video here. So um, very simple card. There's basically the fan shroud, which is connected directly to the PCB, and removing that was pretty easy. The IO bracket is always easy, of course. I am looking forward to getting to like the cards eventually that don't have these DVI ports, and I don't have to use that different screw head to get those off. I mean, it's still easy, but uh, yeah, it's kind of weird seeing DVI ports again because I haven't seen them in so long. Yeah, so just removing the shroud comes off pretty easy, and then it just exposes the heatsink. And some of these like 1060 cards, 960s, like typically the shrouds seem to be attached to the PCB instead of the heatsink. So you can typically remove the fan shroud and the fan separately from the heatsink. Just disconnecting that fan there. You can definitely tell it was a newer card, like the cables and stuff weren't as like rigid. Not the best video quality there. All right, removing the heatsink, just the typical 4 screws. There was no back plate, there was no mid plate, which you can expect for like a 1060. And I thought the little chip there was interesting because it's like a rectangle instead of a square. First time I've seen that. Thermal paste was definitely, you can see a hair dangling off the top there. Um, but overall, it wasn't in bad shape. It just needed a little bit of love. There's a small heat sink that I'm about to take off, which has thermal pads on it. And that was the only thermal pad that was on this whole thing. A little bit hard to get it off, but once I got it off, pretty easy. You can see the thermal paste just like stiff, so it easily comes off like, yeah, definitely needed to be repasted. Removing the fans now. They had a lot of screws holding the fans on. They were like definitely a little worried the fans would like fall off or something. I don't know. There was like 4 screws under the fan blades, and then there was another screw holding like the little wire bracket that juts off. So 5 screws per fan. Usually I only see like 3 screws. So good job, ASUS. All right, this was fun just because it was a white GPU, so getting to scrub it down and get it like shiny clean was nice transformation. Even just dumping the soapy water on there got a lot of the dust off. Because the fan shroud's so easy to get off, definitely like would recommend people, if you're gonna clean anything, at least get the shroud off and pull off the fans and clean the fans off, and then you have pretty easy access to the heatsink. But honestly, by now you need to just repaste these, so I'd say just do a full teardown. Um, if you don't want to do what I do, which is put the PCB in soapy water, you definitely don't have to. Just use, it's overkill. The only reason why I do it is because I make these GPU videos and I want to get them like looking brand new, but you definitely don't have to go through the extra scare of dunking your PCBs in soapy water and then making sure they dry entirely. Uh, you could just get like a little soft brush and brush off all the things, but I want it to look brand new just for the videos. So I definitely understand some people being like, why would you do that? It's for the videos. I want them to look brand new. This took actually a little while to get all the little thermal paste off the chip here, but eventually the soapy water really helps like dissolve that thermal paste and get it looking brand new. There wasn't a lot of stuff on this board, so I wasn't too worried about it drying out quickly. It's always the ports that I'm a little bit worried about, which is why you always see me dump isopropyl alcohol in the ports to start out. and I might as well just use the whole bottle. What I recapture it, so like because I clean with soapy water first, the isopropyl alcohol is basically clean, and I just dump it back into the bottle and use it again. So that's why you see me like dump way more than I probably need on the GPUs because I just recapture it. Yeah, took like 10 minutes cleaning the fans. I'm not really gonna make you watch. There is a, the full cleaning video where you can watch me clean the fans if that's what you're into. All right, so this is a new angle. Kind of weird seeing me uh, in the video and then talking about it, but my overhead camera, I forgot to start it, and I've been messing around with a second camera angle, which is this one. You can see all the GPUs in my room. So um, the ones that are on the ground, on the carpet, those are dead GPUs. I didn't just put working GPUs on the carpet for the static electricity to destroy them. I am organizing, actually I've done it since this video. This video is like a week old or so because I have a little bit of a backlog. I clean the GPUs when I have the time, and then I go back and edit the videos periodically. So, um, anyways, this is kind of a new angle I'm working at. I like kind of getting an angle like this for certain scenes, but since the overhead camera, I forgot to turn it on, we're just going to use this for the rest of the video. Uh, I plan to have everything like cleaned up on my desk and in the background before I actually started using these, but I was just taking the video to kind of see how I could use it, and then since I needed it, we're just gonna roll with it. So don't judge my dirty office. It's a work in progress. Plus I have like 100 GPUs and no place to store them. So there's stacks of them. The ones off my shoulder are like in the bottom left of the video. Those are actually sitting on anti-static bags, which the GPUs are in. So, anyways, I am thermal pasting, getting everything back together. This was such an easy GPU to work on. My most recent one, which will be a future video, is a 980 Ti, and that thing had like 30 thermal pads, uh, mid plate, back plate, tons of screws. It was a nightmare. So it's going to be, I think, like 2 or 3 more videos before we get to the 980 Ti. Actually, the next few videos are really cool, so looking forward to making those and getting them posted. But this was just a nice, easy, relaxing card to work on, no drama. There wasn't a huge increase because it is a newer card. This is why like most of my cards are the 900 series, 700 series cards, because those are the most dirty. I do have some Pascal cards that are pretty dirty, but yeah, there we go. All put back together and ready to go and do the benchmarks. But yeah, that was a fun video to make, or a fun GPU to clean. But let's look at our overall leaderboards here. So yeah, it made it up there, 60 frames per second. I still need to fix the overflow issue. 60 frames per second, which is pretty good. We're talking, near 980 um, benchmarks here. If we look at like the total scores, again, like it's the same 3 cards. We got the 970, 980, and then the 1060. So really cool improvement to see. There is still like a 300 point difference between the 1060 and the 980, but just goes to show you those 1060 cards are pretty good. Uh, yeah, so these are like benchmarks. We're in the benchmark section here. So as you can see, I split it up. We have benchmark and we have stress test performance. So this shows like stress test information. And sometimes you're not going to see 5 cards because like for hotspot, only 3 of them, like the 900 series cards, the better ones have hotspot, and then like newer, whereas like the 700 series, 600 series don't have hotspot, so they don't even make the board. But you can see that G1 gaming was the hottest by far, and this 1060 much more efficient, runs a lot cooler. I mean, the TDP is so much less that it kind of makes sense that it's much cooler. All right, that'll be it for this video. I will see you in the next episode.